Peggy here from Cooperative Kids of Agawam, and in the last video I shared with you the importance of children feeling a sense of belonging and also a sense that they are important, that they make a difference, that they bring value to the relationship. And this is based on the teachings of American psychiatrist Rudolf Dreikurs. And so I'm in the process of giving you some practical tools that you can use in being a more mindful and conscious parent in sending messages to your child that allows your child to know and to feel connected and to feel important. Because these two elements, which are the goal of human behavior according to Dreikurs, will determine to a large degree how much cooperation you experience from your child. Keep in mind that we are living with the end in mind. And what is the end result that we want for our children? When our children get to be the age of 13, 14, actually even earlier because of all that they're exposed to today, we want our children to come to us when they have questions about drugs, when they have questions about sex, when they have questions and when they're confused about life. You want them to come to you as their parent. And the only way they're going to do that is if they feel connected and if they feel important in their early years. Children don't just start communicating when they're teenagers. We build that from the time that they're young. And so the tools I'm giving you are extremely important to practice while your child is at a young age. I'm also going to give you tools later on on what to do with your teenagers if some of these tools haven't been implemented at an earlier age. It's never too late, but it is easier to start when your child is young. So tool number 2. First of all, tool number 1, we talked about the importance of being calm and staying calm in the moment. And I told you that a great way to do that is to ask yourself a question. What do I want to model to my child? What is the message I want to give to my child? And how do I want to feel about myself when the episode is over? Tool number 2. In order for you to stay calm, it's important that you understand what is really going on in the child's brain and what is also going on and happening in your brain. Remember, we all have that small primitive brain called the amygdala. And when your child gets into a state where he or she gets so worked up because they didn't get their way, or perhaps they're just having a bad day, but when they get worked up, they can get to the point where they literally get hijacked into their emotion that they're in. We call that being hijacked by their amygdala. And when a child is hijacked, we must understand that that child cannot hear us. That child in that moment is not teachable. And what happens for most of us is when a child gets upset and a child gets stubborn, we think that we need to win the battle. So we get upset and we get stubborn, and guess what? We're bigger. So we can make that child comply, right? Well, maybe we can. My question is, at what cost? When you allow yourself to get upset, you as an adult can also get triggered by your amygdala. Have you ever been in the car and somebody cuts in front of you and you just get so angry? We hear a lot about road rage. These are examples of adults who get hijacked by their amygdala and get so angry that they do things or say things that they wouldn't normally say. That's why it's so important when your child gets upset that you remain the adult. You remain the model. And the only way you can do that is to be willing to step back and to give your child space. Possibly to say to your child, sweetie, it looks like you're really upset. If you need to cry, you can cry. Still not going to get the cookie. And the more upset your child gets, the lower your voice and the slower your words need to become. Because your first goal in working with your child when they get hijacked by their amygdala is to bring calm to the situation. And when you're committed to doing that, you are much less likely to say and to do things that you regret later on, and that also break down the relationship and send unintentional messages to your child. Watch for the next video. More tools coming up.